Okay, good day guys. In this video we're talking about the introduction to HTML and what HTML is. So HTML is a standard markup language for creating web pages, and the acronym HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, so don't let us forget, HTML is a markup language, not a programming language. Okay, and also the functions of HTML is that it is used to describe the structure of the web page. It consists of series of elements, and it tells the browser how to display the content. So moving on, here we have a simple HTML document. Okay, as you can see here, we have doc type HTML as the declaration. We have the HTML tag here, which is the root element. Okay, the root element, meaning the first element. We have the head element here. The head element is where information about the meta information about the web page. Okay, inside the head element we have the title element, and we also have the closing head tag. Okay, you can see the closing head element. Don't worry, later on we'll talk more about all this. Moving also, the explanation on these tags. We have that the doc type HTML declares and defines the document of this HTML5 document. The HTML is the root. The head is the contains the meta information about the web page. The title specifies the title of the page, as you can see here, page title. And how do you know the page title in your website? Let's look at this. For instance, now this is where you can get it. You can see what is being stated here: introduction to HTML as an overall on it. So that is the title of your web page. Okay, so those are just the basic the functions of each of these elements. So moving on, we talk about what is an HTML element. So an HTML element is defined by the starting and the closing tag. So when you want to know an element, we know it by the starting tag and the closing. Okay, and whatever that goes within those tags are the contents. Okay, the contents of the tags. Okay, moving on, let's look at the simple HTML tag here. We have the h1 opening element, and we also have the h1 closing element, and within it is the content. Okay, the content within it. Okay, so as you can see here, we have different elements here. You can see this element, you can see the content within it, you can see the closing element. Also you can see this element here, which is called the p element, or the paragraph. You can see the content within it, and you can see the closing p element. And don't forget, all these elements here, they have their functions. They have the role they are playing in displaying contents on your web page. Okay, because the function of this p element is different from the function of this h1 element. Okay, for instance, this h1 element is used to make your text huge or big and bold. Okay, while for this p element is used in defining is used for separating text. Okay, adding new line to text, adjusting it, not making your text, when you enter a new line, not making it to be joined together. Okay, that is function of this p element. And for this br element, as you can see here, it does not have a closing tag. And what do you call those kind of this thing? We call them empty tags or empty elements. Okay, because they don't have an ending tag or a closing tag, as you can see here. And the function of this br, which stands for break, is to add new line. Okay, to add new line to your contents on your web page. That is the function of the br tag. That is called break. Okay, so that is for that. And so the web browsers, what is the purpose of the web browser? As you can see, We have different web browser. We have the Chrome, we have the Safari, we have the Opera Mini, we have popular browsers outside. Okay, and these browsers are used in displaying but the contents, your HTML web pages. Okay, that is that is where those um, contents are being displayed. They are displayed on the what, on the browser. And so, as you can see here, this is a basic example of a content here. The P element, yeah, this is the content, my first heading, my first paragraph, and this content is being displayed on what, on the browser. Okay, this being displayed on the Chrome browser. As you can see, the interface is similar to that of Chrome. Okay, so that is the function of the browser, used to display what, your HTML contents. And so, moving on, talk about what, the HTML page structure. Okay, the page structure of an HTML element. Okay, so what do you mean by page structure? Page structure is like the order at which it follows. How is it, how it is being followed. So when writing codes in HTML, we must not forget to what, always start with our HTML tags. Okay, as that is the root element. Okay, HTML element is the root element. After that, we have what, the head. You know, in a human being, after the after the head, we have the body, isn't it? So after the head here, so this just following the human being structure here. After the head, which also has a closing tag, we have the what, the body. Okay, the body is also used in defining, or that is the section or the area where all the contents you're seeing on your web page is being displayed. Okay, so that is for the body. For this heading, it contains the information about, or the meta information about the web page. Okay, that is for that. And so this is basically how the order or the hierarchy of the structure of the page structure. Okay, this is how it is being followed from your HTML, which is like the container, is the one containing all the elements within. You can see it has an opening here and it has a closing here, so it's one containing all the elements within. So, and this heading element is the first element. Okay, is the first one. After the, like, let's just say this is the human body now. HTML is the human body, and within the human body we have the head. I get me, the head, and after the head we have the body. Okay, and we have the body. All right, so that's how basically how it is being followed. So yeah, they said, take note, they said what, the content inside the body section will be displayed in the browser. Okay, while the content inside the title element will be shown in the title bar or in the page bar. So basically that is what the function of the body and the title is. Alright, so let's move on to the history of HTML. That is when HTML was invented. And so HTML was invented in the year 1989 by a computer programmer called Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, and he also invented www, that is the World Wide Web. So HTML was invented by him, and in the following years there were different versions of HTML. People worked together to like upgrade it, to add some new features to it. You get, that's why sometimes you might see there are some elements you might kind of like, there's some old elements you might kind of like write that will actually work in some browsers. Okay, some browsers, they tend to follow the new or the updated HTML version. So if you were to be writing codes like we were writing in the 1990s or in the 1980s, you won't be seeing the result as it was now. Like the way you want it to run won't be actually, at most other browsers can support it, but you won't be seeing the effects in in other browsers. You get, so that's why it's always advisable for you to use the latest Chrome latest invention of HTML, like writing it in the latest format. All right, so because this is just basically, this is what it's all about. So this is just the history of it. We have from 1989 to 1991. 1991, Tim Berners-Lee invented HTML. 1993, Dave Ragat drafted HTML plus. As it's going on like that, you can see the different versions of the HTML. Okay, until in 2017 we have the HTML 5.2. Okay, so that is just different versions, and currently we are actually using HTML5 as the standard version of it. So let's go to the next. Let's talk about the next thing here. We talk about the editors. Okay, editors. So what are the HTML editors? HTML editors just basically your software whereby you write your HTML codes. Okay, the platform you use. So out there we have different HTML editors. We have the Notepad, we have the Visual Studio Code, which is a popular one. We have the there are many out there. Okay, there are many editors out there that we can use in writing HTML codes. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to set up, or how to write a simple code in your HTML editor. So let's go. I'll show you how to use our Notepad, for instance. Now, so minimizing the tab, you go to your Notepad, search for Notepad. That's if you don't have Visual Studio Code, you can still use your Notepad for it. Go to Notepad and then click on enter. It will take time, just have to just wait. Okay, so just let me just cancel this out. One save. Okay, let me just type it again. Okay, Notepad. So now once you have opened your Notepad, let me change the font. I think I kind of like formatted the font, something like that. Edit fonts. Yeah, just change it to its basic, to its normal fonts. Okay, light. Yeah, light is, I think, regular. Yeah, regular is the family. I change the family also. Area, I think area is normal family for it. Okay, so I think that is all. So now, okay, so as I said, when writing your HTML code, what do you start with? You start with the declaration, isn't it? The declaration, that is a doc type. Okay, doc type HTML, that is your declaration. Then when you press enter, what is the next thing? HTML, because HTML is like the name of the individual is HTML, isn't it? Like your name is let me just say, for instance, your name is Michael. Michael is your name, isn't it? After Michael, and what do you have in Michael? We have the head of Michael, the body of Michael. You get me? So HTML is his name. Don't forget, HTML also has an ending tag. Okay, HTML. And within HTML, what do we have? We have the head. I get me? We have the head, and we have the closing head. The closing head. Okay, we have the closing head. We have the closing head. Okay, and within the closing head, we have the title. Okay, we have the title of the web page, and so we have the closing tag or the closing title. And don't forget to write within that title tag, you write the content there, you give the web page a name, okay, a title. So let's say my first web page. Okay, so moving on, we will not like try to write the body, okay, the body tag, and then closing body tag, okay. So within the body tag, we write our content there. Let's say my first content. Okay, so I think that is just my basic HTML code, and now I will run it. Before you run it, you have to first save the file. Okay, click on file, and then you save it, and you save the file. Okay, click on file and then you save it. So you press save as. Okay, click on save as, and then you name it. You can call it any name, just say index. I think I prefer index. Okay, you can use HTML or HTML. Anyway, you can save it as .html, htm, or .html. Anyway, if you like. And just leave it as .htm here, and then click on all files. All right. So after that, you will the encoding is UTF-8, so leave it on UTF-8. And so, and don't forget to know where you save the file. Remember, it's in document. Okay, you can decide to save it in download. Let me just put it in downloads. Okay, I save it in downloads. So you click on save. So it said, do you want to replace? Since I have an index file in there before, so I'll just say yes, I want to replace it. So now I'll save it. So I'll just minimize this, and then I'll click on my file manager. Okay, I'll click on my file manager. I'll go to where I saved it, which is in downloads. I'll go to my downloads. Okay, and then you can see here, this is the index file. So you double click on it, and you can see it's showing the my first content here. It's showing the code here. If I want to now do some editing to it, I can do some editing. Let's say I want to let the text to be, I want to make it red and then bigger. So I can just say, I can just put it within the tag called h1. Let me just write h1 here. Let me just create an h1 tag. So h1, and then closing h1, and then this, just cut it and then paste it here. So now I've pasted it, and so what I can do now is that, okay, also I've pasted it, I'll save it, Ctrl S. Don't forget to save it, because if you don't save your work, it will run. So you Ctrl S, you save it, and then you go back to your browser and refresh it. As you can see here, it does make the text bigger and bolder. And so if you want to like change the color, I can add some styling to it. Okay, so that is where styling comes in place. So styling is just basically, you adding some appearances to your text, making it look more, appealing to the users, more attractive to the users. Let me just put it that way. So, and we have different types of styling. We have the internal styling, we have the external, and the inline styling. Okay, that's for that. That's for in our next class talk about the styling. So right now I'll be doing internal styling for you guys. So I'll put the style here, equals to, and then double quote. Within that quote, I will specify the kind of attributes I want to use. Is it the color? You don't want to change the color, you don't want to change the font size, you don't want to change the font family, you don't want to make it all caps, you don't want to make it small caps, anyone. So let's say, for instance now, let's say I want to change the color. So I'll specify color, and then within it I'll put a colon here. A colon. After the colon, you put the the value of the color. Is it red? You don't change to red, blue, orange, black, or any kind of color. Let's say I want to use red now, for instance, or let me just say purple. I think purple is more sweet. So now, after adding color, after changing the color, I won't forget to save. Don't forget to always save your work. So you press Ctrl S here to save it. You minimize your Notepad. You refresh it. So now it has changed the color of your text. So that is just basically how to write HTML codes in your Notepad. And so if you want to do for your Visual Studio Code, I think I have a video there that you can watch. But don't worry, I will show you how to do it on VS Code also. So let's work on Visual Studio 2. So same thing also, you minimize it. As you can see here, I have my Visual Studio Code here. If you can't see it in your desktop, you can search for it here, over here. Okay, you can type Visual Studio Code to search for it. But for me, I have my own here. So let me just double tap on it. So to take just a few seconds or a few minutes, it won't take that long for it to load. Okay, so as you can see here, it is actually showing my my previous works. Okay, that's how it works. That's how Visual Studio Code does. When you have done something on it before, it tends to open your previous work out. But I'm not actually working on this. This is just for my private work. Let me just go to where I want to show you. So you click on File. If you are seeing something like this, click on File. You open folder. Or you just basically, should I say just open folder. Click on Open Folder. Alright, click on Open Folder. Okay, it's taking time. It's kind of like So click on Open Folder, and then you click on where you want your files to be stored. So basically, I want it to be stored in my same downloads page. Let me click on Downloads. So select folder. Alright, you can still also create a folder. Download is like a folder too. A document is like a folder too. But in your download, you can still create a folder that you want it to your files to be saved. You get. So that is just what it does. Everything here is seen it as a folder. So I click on Select Folder. That's my downloads. It's my folder now. Click on Select Folder, and so you can see it tends to open. Okay, yes, I trust the authors, and so it tends to open the folder for us and all the files and folders that is within that download folder. Okay, so basically I won't want you guys to actually do it like this. It's not the best practice. That's why I also always suggest for you to create a folder and to like work on it on your folder, because that is on that folder, that is where your work will be stored. But if you were to use downloads or documents, you have other different kind of folders in it and different kind of files in it, so it won't be arranged that way. So with that, let's go back to our downloads. Let's go to downloads, create a folder. Okay, create a folder. So you can call it my folder. And so you go to your Visual Studio Code, click on File, Open Folder, click on Open Folder, and you go to Downloads, click on what, My Folder, alright, and then you select your folder. And so once you have done that, you now create a new file. Okay, in Notepad you have to first type the code before you now like save it, okay, as save the work. But here you want to first create a file in Visual Studio Code. You have to first create a file. So you create a file here, click on index, you can give it any name, so but I'll prefer to use index. So index.htm, or you can say HTML. Let me try HTML here. HTML. Okay. Then press enter. So you can see here we have created a new HTML file. And so you can start our coding. The first thing you first start with is what? Doc type. And you can see the cool thing about Visual Studio Code or VS Code. VS Code tends to auto complete the text. Okay, it has this feature it is like trying to complete it for you without you having to like type everything all out by yourself. So you can see, for me, each time I just continue, as I open it like this, I'll just press tab, and you can see it has type everything out for me. Going down, I'll now like press my HTML. You can see HTML. Just click on HTML, close it. You can see it's automatically writing everything out. It's not letting me to like complete each of it. That is one cool thing about Visual Studio Code. Okay, so after our HTML, we have the head. Okay, the heading. Then our heading, you can see it's arranging also. It's not only completing your text, it's arranging it in a neat manner. It was, if you were to be in a Notepad, you have to be the one arranging it yourself. You can see it's not really aligned. I have to be the one like putting tabs to it. Shift tab. Okay. I have to be like just adding some tabs, like trying to like align it to make it more more readable in a sense. So, but for Visual Studio Code, it does everything for you. Then you click the title. The title is always in the heading. Give my first web page. And there's also one cool thing I did. You can see basically, if you were to download your Visual Studio Code like newly, just downloaded it, okay, you still follow the same process also. You have to first save your work before you run it, okay. But for my own year, I installed this extension. So Visual Studio Code has this way of installing extensions. So in this extension I installed, it's actually, it made my work easier. It's something just like Ctrl S every time, save it. As I'm typing, to just automatically save by itself. Okay, so this is what I did. Is an extension I installed there. Go live. It just saved the work by itself. Some just like continue like typing like that to get. So that is for that. So after the heading, we have the body. Okay, the body, and the body we can insert our content. Let's say the H1 tag, and then now say my first content, or my contents go here. Okay, just say hello world, anyone. So now, as you can see here, after doing that, you Ctrl S. Don't forget to save it, okay? Because if you haven't saved it, it will show a white dot here. That will be indicating that you haven't saved it, okay? So but if you have saved it, the white dot will disappear. So after saving your work, you will go to run, and you click on run without debugging. Okay, run without debugging, and you select the browser you want to use. I'll be using Chrome here. So click on Chrome, and then you click on run and debug. Okay, it's kind of like I think it's running already. Hold on a sec. Okay, okay, I think it has run on the web page. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's running now. My first web page. Okay, wait a second first. I've not actually used it in a very long time. What I just use is I installed extension Go Live. This Go Live tends to, like, I just click, when I click on it, it runs it for me on the browser. But I'm just trying to, because as a newbie, I'm just trying to like show you how to run it. When you just first install it, because as the first time when you're just installing your Visual Studio Code and you don't know anything about all these extensions, you have to go through the step of going to the run section and then run without debugging, like that. So I think it's taking time to load here. So already showing in the terminal. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me try. Okay, let me see. Run without debugging. Run without debugging. It looks like your browser is already running from an old debugger. Please close it. It's already running. Okay. Okay, it has opened already. Okay, it's opened. Okay, so it has opened already. It opened. I didn't really see the tab. In another Chrome this thing here. So it has opened. So this is my content go here. So it has opened already. So what you just, let me just count it again. Let me show you guys again how to go about it. Let me just show you guys again. Okay, I'll just cancel this part. Just cancel everything here. So you click on run, and then you click on run without debugging. Okay. So this is it here now. As you can see, this is the content. So and you can also add some styling to it. You can just say style, style, and then equals to this, and then you can write let me just want to change the font or the font size. Let me just say, and you can see it's already, it's kind of like completing it for us. Like you can see everything that is showing here. So you just left for you to just select which one you want to use. That is one cool thing about VS Code here. Let me say okay, text. Yeah, text transform. Let me use the text transform feature. Like I want to capitalize it all through. So now I'll go back to my tab to where I ran it. Sorry, I'll go back to my this thing here, my browser. Okay, go back to my browser here, run without debugging, and you can see here that's capitalized on my text. If I want to make it uppercase, I can just say uppercase here. I can specify uppercase. Okay, going back again, refresh it, Ctrl R, uppercase or true. So that is just how to create a file in Visual Studio Code and start working on it. So I think I'll just close it, and then that's all about HTML editors. And so in our next class we'll treat basics, the elements, and also the attributes of in our HTML markup language. Okay, so bye for now, see you guys later.